Of Bartlett Committee of the Whole meeting for March 17, 2015. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Ahrens?
T.O.
Trustee Ahrens?
Here.
Kammerer?
Here.
Carbonaro?
Still here.
Martin?
Still here.
Ranke?
Here.
Shipman?
Here.
President Wallace?
Here. All of our items this evening, other than the prior item under the Finance Committee, is Planning and Zoning.
Okay, thank
Trustee
you.
Kammerer.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening we have 4 items under Planning and Zoning. The first of which is a request by Seasons Produce and Specialty Market. I can let Jim, you got anything to say on this?
It's pretty straightforward. They've been operating there. They just want to expand their operation to a little larger area to accommodate the increased business that they are experiencing there. It's before you prior to moving on to the Plan Commission.
Okay. Any questions by the board?
And I saw that there's still plenty of room for parking, even with the expansion.
Yes.
So,
Is the
The
petition?
second expansion, Jim?
This is their second expansion.
And they expanded last year as well,
They
correct?
expanded last year. As you recall, they had a second operation at our farmers market here. They're going to not do the farmers market in the downtown. They're going to expand here on a day, an extra day, and a bigger size tent.
Wonderful.
So they're not going to have
The downtown one.
at Bartlett Plaza?
Correct.
See, okay.
What drove that decision, Jim?
I'm going to say economics.
Okay.
They're getting more bang for their buck out there. I think the extra day will accommodate any loss of revenue they might have experienced here.
Is the property owner going to be taking out this cement median, or is it just go over the edge of that? Is
That median, it's just the area. The tent doesn't go as big as the red area. That's
okay.
just the area. And if he does, he did just put a stake in that and anchor the tent down. Our building department inspects it and approves the permit for it.
Okay.
I just have one comment. If you guys are out there and you visit them and the lady's cooking corn, it's very good.
Any other comments or questions for, I think the petitioner is here tonight, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay. No other questions? Then, yeah, we'll go ahead and move this on then, Jim, right?
Yes, on the Plan Commission for the
Commission,
public
exactly.
hearing.
Okay, good. All right.
Well done.
Next on the agenda is,
We need some Mariano's, right?
I have these.
Perhaps you'll get large enough to fill up a vacant Dominic's store. I'd like to see that.
Right. All right, next thing on the agenda is the Sanzeri, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, subdivision. And once again, I'll let Jim give us a little more information on that.
This is a petition from Dana Sanzeri, represented by her mother, Linda Sanzeri. It's on the south side of West Bartlett Road, south of Western Avenue. 429 Railroad Avenue is the property address. People may know this. Elmer Heck used to own this property a number of years. It is zoned ER1, was never rezoned for anything until the Sanzeris purchased it. They would like to create a 2-lot subdivision and rezone the property to the SR2 district. It's pretty straightforward. They wish to, once they rezone it, they wish to build one of their own houses and then have a second house or second lot for sale for anybody who wishes to build there. Both lots would meet the SR2 minimum of 10.8 to the rezoning. Review of engineering is ongoing, as well as the subdivision review, and it is before you prior to moving on to the Plan Commission for the public hearing on the rezoning and to review the subdivision.
Any questions by the board?
If you find any neat artifacts in Elmer's house, let us know.
I found a moonshine still.
I was thinking more fire department-related artifacts, but all right.
John Deere parts.
Okay.
All right, and this needs to be moved on as well to
On to Plan Commission.
Plan Commission.
Concussion.
All right, third thing on the agenda is from Inglesia, Bautista, Betel. They're requesting a parking lot expansion, and I think you have some slides that, once again, that illustrate that, don't you, Jim?
Thank you, Trustee Cameron. Pastor Elmer Fernandez is here from the Inglesia Bautista Betel, and so is Reverend De Palma. As you recall, we spoke about this some time ago, where the churches are doing kind of a swap of their facilities. Pastor Fernandez is now operating out of the former World Overcomers. Part of the deal is to expand the site plan and improve the parking lot for his former church site. And so he has submitted plans and engineering and landscaping for this site. This will be the site of the new Encounter Church that Pastor De Palma will run. Essentially, they've expanded the parking lot. They're going to improve the driveway access off of North Bartlett Road. And then there will also be accompanying landscaping around the perimeter, as well as some stormwater detention for this facility. The engineering is ongoing, as well as the landscaping. We've been working with them for some time, and it is before you prior to moving on to the Plan Commission's site plan review of this facility.
Any questions from the board or to the petitioner?
Curious, Jim, the drive that accesses North Bartlett Road, does
Yes.
that goes through a second property? Is that owned by the church as well, or?
It's in an easement. It goes through this property. The church has a long-standing easement. It's really kind of a driveway now, and they use it right here. And they're going to formalize it a little more, and I believe they're going to have a sign right here at this entrance. But it's an easement between, there's a property here at the corner, and then there's one to the north, and they share that common access.
So it's actually dividing two separate properties, is what you're saying?
It divides the separate properties as well as provides access to both of those too. So it's a kind of a three-way easement, if you will. A number of years ago, you remember we approved a commercial center up here and then a gas station convenience store down here that never got built, and they shared that same access.
Other questions?
Yeah, what if somebody comes in on that corner, kind of tagging onto Trustee Shipman's question there, and this driveway is an essential portion of the business?
They share the easement. This property has the same easement that the Encounter Church will share. Then they'll just have an access this way.
There used to be a gas station there, right?
There was a gas station years ago. Then we approved a second one. I'm going to say it's been 7-8 years. It was a gas station they were going to have a Dunkin' Donuts in there, and it never got built. And so it's still zoned commercial and has an approved site plan on it. So they would share and have to honor those easements. This site would also be able to access directly onto Bartlett as well as 20, because they had some existing access points.
Thank you.
There's no other questions, then I would ask that we go ahead and move this on to the Plan Commission for further review.
Thank you.
And last, but certainly not least, we have the Artis Senior Living of Bartlett, the final subdivision and final PUD site plan for Lot 1. I know that the petitioner is here, and I know you have more information to clarify things for us as well.
Thank you, Trustee Kammer. This, as you recall, Artis was given preliminary approval as well as preliminary PUD plan for the property on the east side of Route 59. They are dividing it into 3 lots, and the 3-lot subdivision, and asking for their final PUD approval on the Artis site, which is on Lot 1. The subdivision's pretty straightforward. It's divided to include a detention, future second lot, and then the Artis site, which is shown here on this site plan. It's essentially the same 72-unit senior memory care facility. I guess you don't have to be a senior to need memory care, but it is generally a demand. We get a lot of calls about it when it's going to open. The petitioner was given preliminary approval in Ordinance 2014-90. They're going to build the facility. Here's the building elevations looking, it's similar to what you had seen, the elevations in all four sides, and then they are going to landscape it and put a perimeter fence around it, and then they will provide detention for not only this facility, but also for Lot 2 when it becomes developed. They are anxious to get moving. They will, this subdivision and site plan are in substantial compliance with the preliminary plan that you were approved, and are here today if you have any questions. They do have the same proposed permitted use list for Lot 2, which is attached and will become in part of any ordinance that we adopt.
Any questions from the board?
I do. Who's the parent company for Artis?
What's that, TL?
He's asking who the parent
The
company
parent
is for
company.
Artis? Is the petitioner here?
Is the petitioner here?
Mr. Hicks is here. Jay, if you want
Do
to
you
go
wanna-
answer that.
Approach the podium there.
I don't know who I'm addressing exactly. I heard a voice from the...
TL, our
yeah.
trustee. who's-
Oh, I see.
In the
Trustee
sky.
Well, there isn't a parent company per se, but as we indicated, it's apparent on our website, I think in my initial description of who we are, we're connected to the Bainham family of Maryland. The Bainhams founded Manor Care back in the early 60s. That's where we all got our start. So there isn't a parent company, there's a parent family, if you will, attached to it. The Bainhams nor any of us have had anything to do with Manor Care since the late 90s, but that's where we all came together and kind of cut our teeth on assisted living.
Is that the same Manor Care that's in Mount Prospect?
I'm not sure. I was not involved in anything in Chicago when I was at Manor Care. Very well could be. They have a very big presence in the Chicago area.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the petitioner since he's at the podium?
Not so much a question. Unfortunately, I wasn't here for the last vote. It's one of the weeks I was out of town on business and couldn't get to a phone. But I still have some concerns about the access in and out of Route 59 and the entrance. Specifically, as I think about it, southbound Route 59 really has no way to access this particular facility. So I'll just make that comment, knowing that those are my comments. I have concerns about that.
Has anybody approached you at all about the back lot? Any type of businesses?
I've had a number of phone calls, but I've deliberately chose to not really pursue anything until I really know what I have to work with.
Sure.
And I own the property, so.
Yeah, I'll just restate my concerns. Is that, that 59 corridor is such prime real estate, and we're looking forward to somebody being there finally, but really like to see somebody with some tax revenue behind you, if that's at all possible.
Well, I think we'll be doing our part, maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly it's a harbinger of things to come. We don't generate children, but we do generate revenue.
Yeah.
Frequently, we're the best of both worlds. We generate a non-residential tax base, but yet we're essentially a residential use, meeting what we think is an acute demand for quality senior care in Bartlett.
And
Thank you.
I will go ahead and reiterate that I am pleased to see you come in, because I feel like this property's been sitting vacant for 30-some-odd years. It's finally having something come on to it that has a value and purpose that can affect many people in this room, and I think it's a good thing, and I'm glad to see you coming into town. If there's no other questions, then I'd suggest we move this on to the Plan Commission.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And that concludes the planning and zoning portion of this.
And that concludes the Committee of the Whole meeting. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's moved by Trustee Kammer, seconded by Trustee Carbonaro. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Aaron's?
Yes.
Kammerer?
Yes.
Carbonaro?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ranky?
Yes.
Shipman?